Lil Brunson back at you with the back at you, and I am the best reporting on the Eagles. Yo, shout out to my guy Red, you know, drive the trucks and all of that, you know what I mean? He put a bright idea in my head. You know, now it seems like that we pulling out of the, the Mike Kafka situation in terms of looking for an offensive coordinator. We still have yet to name a defensive back coach, a wide receiver coach, a defensive line coach, or offensive coordinator. What if nobody wants to coach for us? It's either one or two things. A lot of people don't see much opportunity coming out of coaching for us, and Andy Reid doesn't know how to select people. It's one or two things, you know. And the Philadelphia Eagles and the coaching staff, or lack thereof, have to figure something out quick. Because what would you need if you was an offensive coordinator? Let me ask all y'all, whoever's going to watch this video, let me ask you this question right here. If you was an offensive coordinator, what would be the number one thing you would need? What would be the number one thing you would need? You would need to know that you're coming into an offense that's already basically set up. And the Philadelphia Eagles have pieces. They have a franchise quarterback. They have young, talented, promising running backs. They have offensive lines. You see what I'm saying? Some parts of the wide receiving core is a question. You got dynamic tight ends. You got some pieces around you. But what would be the main thing that any offensive coordinator searching for a job would shy away from in terms of the Philadelphia Eagles job opening from an offensive coordinator standpoint? Am I going to be able to call my own plays? Am I going to be able to truly be my own man at offensive coordinator? And the Philadelphia Eagles can't promise nobody that. Because do you honestly think that Doug Peterson is going to give up the reins on calling the plays for the offense? I don't think so. And that could be to our demise later on down the line. Even somebody as great as his mentor, Andy Reid, lets people call the plays. I don't know if this is a job security thing for Doug Peterson. I don't understand it. But when you're a great head coach, you got to be able to coach people up, and you got to be able to let people know that, you know, these are the plays I want ran, and you coach them up. You coach these guys up so they can be head coaches themselves. You don't hog the play calling privileges. You're already a head coach. There's no need for you to call the plays. There's a lot of talented people out here that can call the plays. You got to give somebody a chance. Now, if I'm looking to be, you know, a defensive back coach for the Philadelphia Eagles, what would be one thing? First of all, what are you looking for as a defensive back coach that's on the job hunt? I'm looking for some young, promising defensive backs. I'm looking for the opportunity to be able to draft some guys. The Philadelphia Eagles don't have many promising defensive backs. It's the worst secondary in the league as far as the deep ball is concerned. And are you going to be able to call some of the shots as far as personnel goes with a stubborn guy like Jim Schwartz hanging over the head of a young defensive back coach? Think of stuff like that. What about the defensive line coach? Are you going to be able to call some of the shots with a guy over your head like Jim Schwartz? Huh? You got to think about some of that stuff. It's no coincidence that the defensive line struggled and the cornerback struggled at times. Because that goes hand in hand from a positional standpoint on the defensive side of the ball. If you could get a pass rush, then your cornerbacks don't got to cover that long. It's just simple football. But the Philadelphia Eagles have failed to garner a pass rush sometimes in the season, and it's left some of the cornerbacks out to dry. It simply did. And then when we did get a pass rush, a lot of the opposing quarterbacks realized that we were just sweet against the deep ball. So yeah, we can get a pass rush, but all they're gonna do is just chuck it up deep. We beat either way. Now, I'm not gonna sit here and tell you guys that all is lost. But we got an uphill battle, man, in terms of hiring. The hiring process seems like it's been way too difficult for us. It's been way too difficult for us. What is a quarterback coach looking to do? A quarterback coach is looking to further develop a guy like Carson Wentz. Can we ensure that he's going to be able to further develop somebody like Carson Wentz? Is he going to get the credit for the development of Carson Wentz? You know what I mean? With the pieces that we need, I see challenges with some of these guys that's filling out these job applications. I'm not even going to lie. You know what I mean? I'm not even going to lie. You got to think about it from the other side of the ball. If I wanted to be a defensive back coach for the Philadelphia Eagles, I would have to be willing to accept the fact that they're not going to give these cornerbacks no safety help like 89% of the rest of the NFL does. These cornerbacks are going to look bad at times because they're going to be playing one-on-one a lot. And we're going to get fried. If I'm the wide receiver coach, I gotta look at it like this. You know, look at the hole that they've dug already with their wide receivers. I'm looking into being a wide receiver coach for a team that's possibly bringing back 2 older vets who's injured, who had season-ending injuries, and Deshaun Jackson and Alshon Jeffrey. A confidence-riddled J.J. Arcega-Whiteside. You got a bright spot with Ward right there. And if they don't draft the guys that I recommend them to draft and we get nothing, this is what I have to work with. It's almost 100% chance that Deshaun Jackson and Alshon Jeffrey don't play all 16 games. Almost 100% chance. I would be shocked if they did that in Eagles uniforms next season. There's challenges that come with these coaching vacancies, man. Let's not act like anybody should just accept the job. Would you accept any job?